Look was back in the forefront. Yep, jumped on the SP today after a few days with the poly and tracker, which I still admire workflow. It's just something different about it, which I like. And if you ever use Drumbo, if you ever use any of those type of workflows, the tracker kind of reminds me of those where you can per step, or even like if you use electron boxes and stuff, then you know that per step being able to do it. One of the things I have on the computer is from 4's .fm or whatever. He makes, I think he worked at some point for the electron folks and or early on, and so he has a program you can get from him that only works in Ableton. It's called the Opal, which is kind of like the Digitac type thing. But anyway, I started with messing with that one too, and I really have a lot of stuff that does it. There's some stuff on iOS now that even has that workflow outside of Drumbo. Prism, the Prism thing that just came out has that flow. And then of course some people use Sunvox, and then they're on the desktop, there's Renoise. So the tracker stuff is out there, similar stuff, you can get to it. I'm gonna embrace it later on down the road when they've updated this newer machine that they put out, and I'm gonna embrace it again. But in the meantime, let's get back to some SP404. I'm using the desktop instruments because I think they sound the best personally, and to me 80% of your work is this, 80% of the music is the sound, right? If the sound is good, then you roll with it. So I'm using a lot of the Arturia Analog Lab to make this music that you just heard. Pigments, Analog Lab for like some horns, and then Trillion for bass. Because I still think Trillion for me, for more of the natural bass, like a real bass guitar, sounds the best. So let me just show you what I did here. This is just a quick run through of it. Of course, I'm using the Mkii Mini Plus to record everything in, so you can hear, right? So here's my drums, and if I'm not mistaken, which I guess I could just check here on Remain. Project Hat 3. Yeah, these are from, I didn't mean to change that. It went back to green. Put these in the white. There you go. These are my drums. These are from, what is his name? SP drums. So I think it's volume 5. I have all the volumes 1 through 5, yeah. And I think it's in the 5th one, if you're wondering where they came from. The chords are a Pigments thing that I'm using. Did I use Scalar to do these? Yeah, Scalar. I use Scalar to do. Now I did have to go in the DAW to do these chords, but that's not a big deal. I wish Scalar does not, if I'm thinking right, Scalar does not have a standalone. I think you have to use it. If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna look again just to be sure I'm not fooling myself. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Scalar 2 does not have a standalone, at least that I can recall, on desktop. So yeah, you have to use their, that would be cool if they did, because then I don't have to go in the DAW. Because the idea to go in the DAW is when I'm ready to finish the song. And if I go in the DAW to make a song, then it's just a different workflow, right? So I'm trying to have my separate workflow. What is this? It's like some type of water or something. That's weird. Anyway, so yeah, so some definite good stuff there. And then I did this for like some background texture. It's another patch that I haven't. Is that fireworks I just heard? Yep, because my dog barked. She heard the fireworks. Oh, let me tell you what I did there. So I record a lot of stuff sorry about the barking. In the loopy. Now I'm going back to iPad, huh? I record a lot of stuff in the Mark here. And then I'll like just use this thing, the BPM, and just pitch that thing down about halfway. And that's what that is. So it was only 4 bars, but I pitched down and made it 50%, got it to 43, so it's 80. So it's like 8 bars, turns it into 8 bars. Then some more texture, like a 2-bar thing that I use across the back. And I left it at 2 bars just because it was just a repetitive little repeat of 2 notes. And then I did the bass. So that sounds fine with me. Hit escape there. And then you can see every time you see that number, by the way, that means that's the BPM of the song. So if you're wondering, I do my songs all literally on one bank. So each bank is a song. So I hardly ever go through a whole project, because I'll do a song on a whole bank and then I'll move to the next bank and just keep doing that. Some people use so many samples, so they're chopping up. I'm not using samples, so that makes it easier. If I use samples, it does take generally more space. So I may use 2 banks for something if I'm gonna do an SP for samples. But a lot of times what I'll do is I might chop the sample even in Koala and then just record those samples into here once I get the chopped samples, just so I don't have to keep all that extra in the SP. That's just me. But you can do all the chopping in the SP if you just want to work in this machine. Absolutely, you can do it. And you can use more banks if that's what you want. I just don't like doing that. I always use one project file. So we're on F right now. I usually keep my project, whatever the project is or the bank I'm on, I put the project or the pattern, I should say, in that same bank. That's just how I remember which bank is which project. Everybody has their own little thing that they do. Then if I want to play with it, I want to see what, take the horns out. This is just to get an idea of how to sequence it. So I'm just muting stuff out. And you can do that out when you're back in your regular mode. When you go back to pattern, just let it go. And it'll stay red so you know that it's muted. Then if I want to do a solo on here, I want to do it, by the way, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can do Shift Exit, either one. What I'll do for solo is I'll usually just play like unlimited bars. I'll just do, I'm going to just record something. I'll just show you what I mean. Now, currently it says 8, and this is of course wrong. It's not going to be 90. So I'll select the pad and I'll set it for the BPM, because for whatever reason it don't. And then I'll just leave this infinite, just because I don't know where I'm going to end. I'm just going to play to my heart's content and I'll record it. But if I'm blatantly honest, how many times do I really do solos on here? Probably none. I usually start a song on here, maybe get an 8-bar in, and then the next step I do from there is I go back into pattern and I'm hitting Shift Export. I'm going Export SD card. I'm going multi-pattern or multi-pad. And then I'm just going to hit that pad and then hit that button, right? There's 9 pads involved in this. So all it's going to do is just export those pads. The good thing is, even though I recorded these in, they fixed it a lot better now to where I don't have to worry about that naming issue. And this 4.05 is so much better. I can just export. It's going to do all the pads. Now, what I do have to say is it's slow as molasses just to export pads. So I don't know if they're ever going to be able to speed it up. The SP has its little quirks like any machine you get, and you gotta take the bitter with the sweet. So yeah, but check this. If the poly-in ever comes back out, or don't come back out, it's already out. If they drop a update on it and I could get it to where I like it, what I would do is just take that, because it was so much easier to export stuff out and multi out and all that stuff. It was way easier than the SP. I would use that instead and just send everything out. But I don't like, and even like, let me say this, even the stemming out from that thing, and I know I'm supposed to be focused on the SP, But there were some good things about that machine that I really enjoyed that I'm gonna revisit it for sure. The stemming out on that thing was incredible. Everything lined up perfectly. I haven't stemmed out something perfect in a long time because the SP don't do it perfect. When you try to line it up in the DAW, whatever, it'll be off a lot of times. It don't start at the one, drives me crazy. But and when I say stem out, I mean like, or I should rephrase that. Stemming out is what I'm doing now. What I'm saying is like tracking out the song. The tracker, I guess hence the name tracker, tracks out the song way better than any other device I've seen. The MPC has a good one because it does the stems, but tracking out, even it is not like as good as the tracker. So all these different devices have different strengths and weaknesses. You just got to figure out which one you like best. Boy, that battery died quick. Oh, guess what? Let me show you this while we wait on this guy here to finish, which is taking forever. Let me put this over here. I gotta put that battery on charger. The iPad is back. Oh my goodness, and it's finally working. I didn't tell you guys about this because I've been trying to get the iPad to work, but I actually got an Apple Pencil 2, and I got it for like 30 bucks on eBay, which is crazy. So if you're ever looking for an Apple Pencil 2 and you want one kind of cheap, eBay has some authentic ones, like 30 bucks. I mean, that's incredible. And it was brand new too, wrapped and everything. So solid find for, I think, and they're all over eBay, so you don't have to worry about like getting a link for it. Just look on eBay. You'll see there's different sellers that do it. Just make sure it's an authentic Apple Pencil. You'll know too by the way it looks. It has to have the Apple Pencil logo on it like that. And yeah, so because I don't like the generic stuff, don't always work too well to me. And when you get one in, if you decide to get that, make sure you charge it on your iPad, because if you don't, and initially I couldn't get it to where I thought it was a bust deal, but it was just the iPad needed to charge that up. It was, I guess it sits probably some warehouse tucked away. We're on the last one now, working multipass. So that's it for this video, really. I just wanted to show you that, and I'm literally not even in the DAW. I'm just using standalone devices here to pull up, like Arturia has the Analog Lab V Pro, and then Trillion, Spectrasonics, all that stuff, like Omnisphere. There we go, we're done. Has all the rest of it. So now one of the things I'll miss about the tracker is when you have the USB plugged up, it can go into the mode where you can just see it. You don't have to take your SD card out. Unlike this, the only way to do that is to use their software. And I really don't like doing it because the software is slow as molasses, number one. And number two, it's not, in my opinion, these are all opinions, by the way, and from me using it. And I just want to be quick. So to be quick, I prefer to slip the SD card in. Now, if you don't have a SD card slot, then this will be no good for you here, what I'm doing. But all I'm doing is using it to get the stems off and then put it in the DAW of choice. So I'm not going to show you this because that's a whole different thing. But I just wanted to tell you that, and I hope someday Roland will do that, where they'll just, if we got USB-C connected, just let us be able to visit that nice spot in there. Visit the storage drive. We don't want to have to move an SD card every time in and out. Just let me see the storage drive so I can pull the samples off the storage drive. So much quicker. Don't even need your app if you do that. We could just load everything onto the storage drive and send it right back. Less dealing with that app, because that app drives me nuts. I ain't gonna lie. Anyway, my little rants now, but back on the SP. I'll do some more videos on the SP. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you want to see on the SP. If there's something that you want to learn, something that you are interested in, and I'll either do a video. I'll usually do a video if you request it. If it's something that can be done on the SP, I will. If it's not, I'll tell you that I don't know how to do it or I can't do it. Or I may send you a link or something where you could see somebody do it if it's somebody that has an easier explanation than I think. All right. Hope all is well, and I'm out.